everyone, to this edition of City Chat with City Magazine. My name is Kilee Harmon, General Manager of City Magazine, and today we're visiting with a person who does a lot of really good work in the Bismarck-Mandan area, Matt Voorhees, who is the Executive Director for North Dakota Teen Challenge. Hello.
Hi, Kilee. How you doing?
Good. Wave to for the camera.
Hello.
You're on TV. Woo! And you are also our December 2011 cover person.
Yes.
Very exciting.
Very honored.
Well, good. Well, thank you. What we always like to do for the December holiday issue is honor somebody who does really great work for our community. And North Dakota Teen Challenge, I mean, I know what the organization is about, and that's why one of the reasons nominated and selected. But for the people who don't know, share what is North Dakota Teen Challenge.
Sure. Well, North Dakota Teen Challenge is a faith-based recovery program, and it's part of a larger network of teen challenges. We have teen challenges all across the world, actually, one in almost every state, over 80 countries, international. North Dakota Teen Challenge has been in existence about 7 years, and it came here right kind of in the middle of the big meth boom that we had here in North Dakota.
Okay.
And there was a lot of meth use happening. That's come down some. But Teen Challenge is a great opportunity for people who are struggling with drugs or alcohol, life-controlling problems. And we offer a faith-based solution to that. It's a completely different format. We're not a treatment center. But people come, and they come there not primarily to get sober, but to change their entire life. And sobriety is a side effect of that. And so Teen Challenge has been around since the 1950s, started in New York City. Wow. A guy from Pennsylvania, a pastor from Pennsylvania, David Wilkerson was his name, went to New York City to witness to some gang members there who he'd seen in Life magazine. They were on trial for murder. And he just reached out to them, and they began their lives began to change. Nicky Cruz was one of the first converts. He's a popular name in Teen Challenge folklore, whatever you want to call it, Teen Challenge history. And so since then, it's just grown tremendously. And I'm a Teen Challenge graduate myself from 11 years ago in Minnesota. In North Dakota, primarily our main people who come to our program, they're adults. So Teen Challenge, it started with teens, but now it services teens and adults. Here in North Dakota, we work with adults. And so we are 18 and over. A lot of our folks come from the court system.
Okay.
The courts, we've had a great relationship with the Department of Corrections, with the state legislature here in North Dakota. They've been tremendous supporters and allies of Teen Challenge. And so about 60-70% of our students come from the courts. They say they want help. They say they would like Teen Challenge, and then the judge, the court, say, well, hey, we'll give you an opportunity to do that then.
Now, you were talking about how it's a faith-based. Now, is it like Catholicism? Is it Lutheranism? Is it baptism? Wait, I don't know. Yeah, that's one. Sorry. Oh, God, that was an idiot move. But anyhow, what type of religion is it? Or is it just more of a Christianity?
It's Christianity. We're what's known as a parachurch organization. And so we don't subscribe to any particular denomination. We are affiliated with from the Assemblies of God, but we don't, being a parachurch organization, we have people who are Methodist, Catholic, Lutheran, Baptist, Assemblies of God, Presbyterian, whatever, all coming, and we have all those types of employees who work for us, and all kinds of students from all those different backgrounds as well. And you don't even have to come from a background like that either. And so it's not a prerequisite to be a Christian to come to Teen Challenge. It's not even a prerequisite to be a Christian to graduate Teen Challenge. And so, but that's what we believe. That's what we teach. Our faith at Teen Challenge as an answer for your life controlling problem.
So now you had mentioned that you are a graduate from Teen Challenge. So then obviously the program was successful for you.
Yes.
What is your success rate, though, for others?
Yes. Well, we did our own study here in North Dakota about 2 years ago, 2009, and we surveyed all of our graduates that have ever graduated from our program.
And how many was that?
That's a good question.
Put you on the spot.
I know it's over 100,
okay.
For sure. And the specific number I can't remember, but I do know that we had a great response. And over 70% of those people are drug and alcohol free. And here's another number that you can't fudge at all, and you can't that nobody can lie about or anything like that. You do surveys and you hope people are honest and everything. You do your best for those to be really true. But the number that you can't hide is how many people have been back to jail or prison. Now, all of our people at one point or another have been in jail or prison. National statistics tell you that 2/3 of those folks should go back to jail or prison within a 3-year period. That's 66%.
Oh.
That's the national trend.
Okay.
For us at Teen Challenge, less than 10% of our graduates ever go back. And so that's really huge for us. We've been able to accomplish some real high program completion rates, and that's been great as well. And then Minnesota actually also did a study, an independent study was done by the Wilder Foundation out of Minnesota,
Okay.
Which is a very prestigious foundation that's known for its surveys and studies. They did one in Minnesota Teen Challenge and found the same thing. Over 70% of their graduates remain drug or alcohol free. And so that over 70% has been consistent over the years. Several studies have been done at different levels by different people, and that's always been the same. And so pretty confident to say that most Teen Challenges will have that.
That type of rating.
Yep.
So now, and I know you had mentioned that you kind of came when the meth was really huge here.
Mm-hmm.
What are you seeing now? Like, how has it transitioned over the years?
Well, we still, because we're a lengthy program, we're a long, very difficult program, we get a lot of the harder cases, a lot of the people who have been through a lot of other options, a lot of other avenues. People try everything else before coming to Teen Challenge because we're long and we're hard. And there's no hiding that. So we still see a lot of meth people who have struggled with meth, but we're seeing a lot more pills. And I think that's kind of the trend in this state as well. I think pills is overtaking as maybe number one.
Prescription drugs.
Yep, prescription drugs. And so pill poppers at Teen Challenge, we have quite a few of those. And that's hard, too, because that's harder to track. That's harder to keep out of their hands. It's a little more tricky. I think across the board, it's a tricky problem.
So now, take me through the program, because you said it is a difficult program, and there are many other options, and everybody does everything else before they come to you.
Sure.
So tell me about the program. What are the steps that you go through?
Well, when you come into the program, it's a year long at the minimum.
Oh, wow.
So you come and you live there for a year. Because, see, like I said before, sobriety is good, and we want people to be sober, but we're not just about getting someone sober. We're about really helping them change their entire life. Because by the time they have come there, most of them have lost everything. I had lost everything. Your family and friends have disowned you. You don't have those people in your life anymore. All your belongings are gone. We get folks who show up. They don't even have shoes on their feet. They got a shirt and a pair of pants, and that's it.
Oh, my gosh.
And, so when they come, we want to show them, here's another answer. Here's another way. This is the way we found has worked for us. We'd like to share that with you, and we want to love you and support you through that, and just be gracious to you like God's been gracious to us. And so we help them through that year. They don't have a job outside. They don't they don't go out on the to do whatever. Everything's very controlled. It's very rigid.
Very structured.
Very structured. Yes, incredibly structured. And people need to know that, before coming, and we're pretty upfront about that. But our goal is to get a whole new line of habits, a whole new line of thinking for them that can help them be successful. So when they go back out, they're not even in the same world anymore. Because, and especially, here in North Dakota, it's hard to, if you're stuck in somewhere, if you're stuck in a place in your life, in a rut where people know you as this, people see you as this.
Everybody knows everybody here in this state, it seems.
And it's hard to break free from that, especially for these folks. And so we want to help them break free from that. And so sometimes we want to help them have a new life, and then maybe start in a new community if possible, to just be free of those restrictions, and to just live life to their fullest. And so that year they go through, it's very structured. We teach them, talk to them. It's a lot of Bible study, a lot of applying Scripture in their lives in different situations. We view their life as a field with a bunch of rocks, and we just go through and turn over each rock one at a time and help them figure out, why that rock was there and what's going on underneath it and those sorts of things.
And now you kind of mentioned how they don't work at all, but I know you guys do have some work programs.
Yes.
Tell people about that, because I know at United Printing we have North Dakota Teen Challenge almost I think, graduates coming in to help us with some final projects. So to explain that program.
Yep. Well, they're each week they have, each day is separated into different things. They typically have a morning where they have classes, 3 hours worth of classes where they're applying different biblical principles to their lives and learning new things. And then they have lunch, and then the afternoon is a work study program. And sometimes they'll have some days that they do all work study and other days where they do classes, but that can fluctuate. But the work study part is something to keep them in that habit of having having a job, having something that they're responsible for, having something that they do, that whole work ethic piece. And so we do have opportunities like with United Printing that's been so great, where some of our students can go over and work over there and do different things. Or they actually help here at URL Radio on Sunday mornings. They do other things throughout the community. We work with Kidco Farms out in Dawson. We work with a construction company here in town. We have all kinds of different community opportunities for these students to be productive and feel like they're contributing to something of worth. We run our own catering business through Teen Challenge, and so the students are part of a catering crew, and they love that. They just love it a lot.
So you guys have a kitchen, at Teen Challenge. You guys prepare everything and bring it out and serve.
Yep. We sure do. So we do all of our celebration dinners that we have. The students prepare all that food, and they love doing it. And so it's just a great opportunity. A lot of them do get to learn new skills. We have a maintenance man out there at our property, and he'll help them. They'll help with oil changes on our vehicles, vehicle repairs, those sorts of things.
So now tell me, what has been your best success story to date? Besides yourself, obviously.
Well, I don't want to.
Without saying a person's name, I understand.
We have some really incredible success stories, and one of my more recent ones, and I do talk about him a lot, but he was in meth pretty heavy, very heavy, prison, lots of prison time, in a gang there in prison, and was just, his life was lost, and he experienced some pretty traumatic situations in his life that caused him to rethink what he was doing and to be open to Teen Challenge, because he didn't believe in God. He didn't believe in anything like that. He believed in something else entirely. And it's so cool because he was facing federal time even, and it was some big stuff. And God was able to work through his life. He's been graduated now for a while. He's working a great job. An awesome job. He's got a new home. He's got a baby girl with his wife, and they just you would never guess
the life he had before.
No, you would never guess. And he's very outspoken about it too, which is that's part of what we do at Teen Challenge. I talk about my story all the time, and so does all the graduates. We want to go out into the community and let the community know it's okay to be real. It's okay to be open about your struggles, because we all have them. And the more we hide them, the more I think our community suffers. And when we can come together as a community and support each other, that's so important. And we want to hide these little problems that we have, and when we hide them, they just become bigger. And we have homes that just are struggling, families that are struggling, and nobody knows.
Because everybody puts on the face that everything is okay.
Yep. And so we go out there, and I love going out there and sharing my own story, and these guys and women do too. Because
well, share your story for us so more people can hear it then.
Well, I came to Teen Challenge initially 11 years ago, Minnesota Teen Challenge, before this one was even here in North Dakota. I was facing 6 years in prison for 3 felonies: theft, possession of handgun on school property, and forgery. And I had several misdemeanors: public intoxication, resisting arrest, those sorts of things. Very messed up. Suicide attempt. I had spent 7 days in a psych lockdown facility for that. That was all in just a year span. What's interesting is when I was 18, you would have never have thought that would ever happen to me. I had a scholarship to college, a great Christian college in Indiana, for academics. I'd played.
So you were a really good kid.
Yep, normal, completely normal, and it all changed. The things where I was struggling with inside started coming out, and I began drinking very heavily. I drank a fifth of vodka a day, and that's what I did. And I dropped out of college after 2 years. I couldn't keep it up. Began popping pills a lot, 32 pills a day. And it just got worse and worse. And so there I was facing 6 years in prison all of a sudden. And I never thought I would ever be there in my life. Never. And I sat in jail and I drank toilet cleaner. That's how much I wanted to get high. And I was as messed up can be. And when you're in that place, you don't necessarily see that as wrong. You know you shouldn't be there, but you're there and you're just stuck.
And you just don't know how to get out.
Yeah, a lot of times, yeah. And so I had people, they'd heard about Minnesota Teen Challenge. I was in Indiana, and my public defender brought it to the court. My judge allowed me, and my probation officer was for it. So they're like, yeah, let's give him a chance. So instead of 6 years in prison, I was able to come to Minnesota Teen Challenge. And that was the hardest time of my life, going through Teen Challenge. I had to face a lot of things inside of me I didn't want to face. I had to deal with a lot of just heartbrokenness, anger, pain. You got to deal with all that stuff. And as you do, it's messy. It's not pretty. Working at Teen Challenge is not a pretty job. It can be really difficult, but it's also really rewarding. And so I was there for 15 months straight. And probably one of the hardest times in my life, but probably one of the best. Everyone's got their own theology and doctrine, but for me, I was pinned down in a place where I didn't have any other alternatives. I didn't have any escape routes. God had me where He needed me, and where He wanted me, and I had to deal with Him.
You had to. You couldn't ignore Him anymore.
Right, and He did it in such a loving way. Where I don't see God as as punishing, as mean or anything like that. He's the most loving, most crazy in love with me than anything else in the world, and it's wonderful. And He showed me that at that time, and I lost all. I can't even. I know the experience. It's hard to put into words. But my life was changed, and instead of having this rock hard heart, my heart had been softened, and all I wanted to do was be able to start telling other people about this love and about this this that you can have in your life. And so,
and then how your life can change for the better.
How your life can just be so different. And now I was planning to be dead at 25 was my game plan. I even carved. I used to cut on myself a lot and do all kinds of things like that. And now I have a wonderful wife of 8 years this December, 2 beautiful kids, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world.
So that's incredible. It's really incredible to see that, how people really can go from down and out and actually change their lives. And I love hearing stories like that, because it just shows those other people that are out there that are going through that you can do this.
Yes, they can.
Obviously, you need help, but you can do this.
Yeah.
So now, when I know you said teens, you guys work with 18 and older.
Yep.
But do you ever get any of the youth that come in? Is there another offset program to try and get them at a younger age before they start going through incarceration and all that type of stuff?
Well, here in North Dakota, we've just Teen Challenge. We've just concentrated on adults. There's some great younger programs. Boys Ranch, great program. We just haven't gone into that area at this point. Minnesota has a teen program for under 18.
Okay.
And there's some other states as well. And so there are some. If somebody wants a Teen Challenge under 18, there's some options out there for them.
Well, that's good to know, though, too, because, if you can get it at your earlier age versus waiting until your time,
right.
You might as well.
Yes.
Very cool. So now what I like to do in the second part of the show is go to the City Make 10, which is the 10-question questionnaire we have all cover people answer.
Right.
And just get to know a little bit more about you.
Sure.
And I know you said before we started filming that you don't quite remember what you answered,
right,
so that makes it even more fun.
Right.
So, okay, the first question. If you weren't doing what you're doing now, what have you always wanted to do?
Did I write music on there? I think I did.
I have no idea. 'Cause it's not even up yet.
No, I want to sing. I like to sing. I like to play guitar, and that's what I love to do. And so I would be doing that if I wasn't doing this. So
like a rocker, like traveling with a record deal, or
sure, all that. That'd be great. Yeah,
all the above.
No, yeah, I write my own music and have my own do that kind of thing. So
what would you say is your favorite genre?
Alternative, probably. Yeah.
Alternative
I grew
rock?
up in the '90s, so.
No, there you go. Yeah,
90s music is kind of my thing.
Is where it is. Okay.
Yep.
If you could meet anyone living or dead, who would it be?
Boy, I don't even remember who I put for that.
Off the top of your head now, might as well.
Well, well, right now, we got the political season. I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I'd like to meet a few of them, because it'd be interesting to meet one of those guys running for president just to see how they are in real life and behind that wall or whatever,
the facade that they put on.
So it'd be interesting to meet some of those guys for sure. I do. I know I didn't put that on my answer, but I'm trying to figure out who I put. That was a hard question for me. There's a lot of people I'd like to meet, and just I like to people watch. So.
Another question I had for you is, you had mentioned how it was your parole officer they were for it and your public defender that helped you get to Teen Challenge. Do you stay in touch with them at all?
Last year I was finally able to go see my probation officer again. I've written them letters and thanked them for the opportunity. And I went down. My probation officer still is a probation officer there. I went down. And it was so funny. It was the first time I'd seen her in years. I was dressed, nicer, and I definitely didn't dress like this before. And it was just so great to be able to see her. And I know I cried. It just she made a big step for me. She was a big piece of my life, and I just thanked her and hopefully encouraged her, because I know in that job it can be very difficult.
And burnout type of job.
Yeah, and it's very hard. Those people give a lot of their lives. Same thing with anyone in the Department of Corrections. They give so much of their lives. And I also tried to get a hold of my judge, and he did call me back. He's a great guy, and I still plan on getting together with him next time I'm down in Indiana. He's actually the chief prosecutor there now, but he just I've stopped to say hi to them, and it's really neat to be able to do that, because I hopefully it encourages them in their job.
To continue to do what they're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, going back to the City Make 10, who is the most influential people in your life? Yeah,
I put Terry Francis. He's the Men and Boys program director in Minneapolis, Minnesota Teen Challenge. He was my program director when I went through the program, and he's been kind of my mentor and a good friend of mine. Just a lot of wisdom. Anytime I have a really difficult decision or something I need to do, or think about or pray about, I call him, and just a great all around guy that if I could be half the man he is, I'd be pretty happy.
Very cool. Okay, so what is your theme song, would you say? Oh, you're laughing at this one.
I don't know.
Oh boy. Are you sure it's not song. Ice Ice Baby?
No, it's not. No, it's not. My theme song. Oh my goodness. What is a theme song even? It's like
the theme song that you would, if you're walking into a room, the one that they would play to describe you and get the crowd pumping.
Oh my goodness.
So if you were a politician.
Boy, that's difficult. Maybe did I skip that question?
Yeah, we can totally skip that one. Okay, let's go to what would be your favorite sound?
My favorite sound? I do love the sound of storms. Especially, I came up here and when we moved up here, we were driving up 94, which is an incredibly long drive, and from Minneapolis. And we were driving. It was out by Crystal Springs. It was summer, gorgeous. It gets so green out there, and you have all the water, and then you have that train track. It goes across all that water right there, and And then when the storm comes in, it gets even greener. Have you noticed? When a big storm comes in the spring, it just seems to get greener. And so you can see those storms here in North Dakota from miles away. And just that noise of the rain and the wind.
And the thunder.
Thunder. It's just wonderful. It's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have much time for the City Make 10, so I did want to ask you, if there's somebody who is, after the show, is thinking about somebody that maybe they want to help, a brother, a sister, a mother, father, daughter, son, do they call you, or what do they do? Is it only through court appointments,
Nope.
or can people come anytime?
People can come anytime. Visit our website. If you Google North Dakota Teen Challenge, it's www.tc4hope.org. Or you can call us at 701-667-2131, and we would be glad to help with whatever way we can.
Now, does it start any time, or is there like a certain enrollment?
Anytime. Yep. There's an application process you go through, but we have people coming in the program every week. So,
very cool. Well, Thank you very much for coming on the show today. It was really good to learn a little bit more about North Dakota Teen Challenge, and just it's good to see, like I said earlier, people that have come from basically nothing and able to really transform their lives.
Yeah, it's been an honor very much, so we greatly appreciate the opportunity.
Very cool. Well, thank you again. And everybody, thank you for watching this episode of City Chat with City Magazine. Make sure you head to our website at thecitymag.com where you can watch past episodes. Have a good day, everyone.